I gotta bring the ratchet.
Keep it real. Keep it real.
So, identify yourselves and tell the audience who you are and what you are known for doing.
I am Tia Shasha High. I'm the host of Millennial High that airs right here at Philly Cam on 106.5 FM every Sunday. And I am also, I can say I'm a filmmaker now, first time. I'm super excited to talk more about it, but that's who I am, the surface of who I am.
Love it. Hey, I'm Shameka Sawyer. I am the founder and creative director of the 5 Shorts Project, and I'm sure we'll get more into detail about what that is and what I actually do.
5 Shorts, as I understand it, is an organization that kind of develops film projects for people that don't have any working knowledge of film. Is that right? Or just expand on that?
Yes. So for the most part, I can say that we do have 2 individuals who actually had experience, but they still wanted to be a part of the project, I guess, to expand, their knowledge of filmmaking. But ultimately, yes, it is a sort of a development project where we take someone who's interested in creating a short film and we help them go through the entire process from beginning to end. So that's from your script all the way down to actually screening your film for the community.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It actually is crazy. And honestly, Shameka is an amazing woman. She's like a Wonder Woman, a superwoman, because I don't know how she does it. I mean, I only had to do one thing.
we're gonna get to that, right? But
Shameka's amazing.
So what components are we talking about fundamentally? Just in general, what like the idea, then what?
Okay. So normally you will start off with at least a script or a synopsis about what you would like to do. We move from that script into pre-production. That's helping you finding your actors and your crew.
You can do all that.
Your locations, all that stuff. From pre-production, we go into production where we actually shoot the film. So we set up a production schedule. We meet up with everyone. Everyone has their table reads. Please have table reads. Let me not leave that out.
What's a table read?
A table read is when you get together with your actors and crew prior to production, prior to shooting, to read through the script.
Okay.
This is a great way for you to figure out if you cast the role right before you start shooting the film. Because it's usually more difficult once everyone is there and you start to shoot and you realize your actor isn't working out. It's kind of hard to replace them because now everyone's there and we're shooting. So it's like we don't have time for you to go back and find someone else. So usually at a table read, you can figure out who's going to work out if you cast the role right. Sometimes people find out that one actor isn't right for the role that they picked initially, but they're better for a different role. So they'll move actors around. But table reads are important because it helps you with those types of tasks that you may have to come across. So we go into production. That's where we actually shoot the film. We go out on location, wherever you are, shoot. Then we go into post-production, which is editing. So that's, making the film in the editing room. That includes sound, color correction, all that great stuff.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you teaching them how to do that, or are you taking on that responsibility?
Editing, no, because the project, they will be with me for like a year if I had to teach, the actual editing part of it. So I don't teach that part. But
are you teaching any part of the?
Yeah, so we go through, like, everything is hands-on. So when you're in production, you learn how to slate, which is called a clip, in order to market for editing. You learn about putting together your production schedule, a call sheet. How much work? It's so many
crazy.
things. Oh, your release forms, how to get your release forms and have individuals fill those out before you start shooting to protect you and your film. So yeah, everyone get that information, and if I'm on set with you, you learn how to do everything hands on yourself. The cool thing about working with me, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but is that I'm very laid back. So those who are new to this feel more comfortable because I'm not the type like, no, you didn't do that right. You do it like this. We walk through the process. We walk through it, and I let the director direct. And if they have a question, they can ask me. And many times you do, once you're there, that's when you learn your angles and all of that. So we have questions about that, but I'm there with you. So I walk you through, like, this is a close-up shot. This is a tight shot. This is a wide shot. So you learn everything hands-on.
So this is where Tia comes in, right? Tell me your introduction to film, and why did you want to do a film project?
My introduction to 5 Shorts was I met Shameka because I was hosting a show. And I met Shameka because was that season 3 or 4? Probably season 3.
Yeah, we met season 3.
Season 3. I met Shameka season 3, and I found it so interesting what she was doing. But it wasn't until I had her, we talked at another level, and I told him, like, I always had this idea, and I'm thinking it's going to be like this full-length picture, and I should, like, sell this concept. But she's like, no, Tia, that could be a short. You can do it. You can do this. And I'm like, no. I told Shameka about it because I just was drawn to Shameka and that concept. That was one of the things that's like, oh, you know what? Actually, I had this idea a few years ago. And I don't know, it's kind of like mystical, magical.
What is the project like in the story?
The short, it's called Ether. So my short is called Ether, and it's about a woman who falls in love with a dead musician, like to the point of obsession. And I wanted to play around with the concepts of love and time, and love in time. Time being past, present, and future. So what would love look like if it went beyond time?
Okay.
Happen.
What attracted you to that project, Shameka?
The storyline.
Yeah, right.
I thought that the storyline was phenomenal, and just knowing Tia for the short time that we've known each other, but it seems like we've been friends for a long time.
Right, true.
That storyline to me is different from what we normally have, and that's what really stood out to me. Also, you're transcending time. It's like, how do you put that together in a film?
Yeah.
And I thought that would be an awesome challenge to take on. And I must say, T is phenomenal.
Oh,
she's a phenomenal director, like, hands down. And the story, when I read the script, is very clear. Like, it's not confusing, even though the concept may seem a little confusing because we're not actually watching it play through. But reading it, I got it. And I was like, this would be really interesting to shoot and try to relate this to an audience just to get their feedback to see if they were able to grasp the true essence of this film. So, yeah, I was up for the challenge.
Are there some projects that you just cannot take on because of the scope of what they want to do? Or
if it requires like a lot of shooting with fake guns and stuff like that, I don't usually take those projects on because when you
what's
go
a lot of shooting? What would a lot of shooting?
So like a gangster film or a
lot of shooting.
Yeah, like shooting, like
with a camera.
Oh no! It's all films are going to require a lot of shooting with a camera, but yeah, like if it's like a gangster film or something like that, they're a little bit more difficult because when you have to shoot with a camera, those scenes, especially if it's outside, you're going to have some police activity. It's like guaranteed. So I like to steer away from those because I just don't want that headache of dealing with the police. Now you can, get your permit. You can pay for a permit and make sure police are on the scene and can stop other police from bothering you when they get phone calls. But we don't have a massive budget here. It's very limited. So it's like, if I can just avoid having to spend out extra money and just do films that are anyway different from the traditional stereotype of black films anyway, then that's the focus I want to go into.
Is there a criteria that people should stay in legitimately?
Yeah. First of all, you want to make sure if you're going to submit a script, do your best to format it as close to a film script as you can. And there's many examples online that you can go by, and there's software you can use too to format that. That's number one, because that helps whoever is reviewing a script. It's easier to read. It's just easier to follow. Also, I think you really want to think about your concept too. Make sure you're not doing something that everybody else is doing. You know, we don't need another Black Panther film. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, you want to create or think about a story that's different in some way. If you're going to tell the Black Panther story, how are you going to make it different? You know, that type of deal. Anything that's different stands out. So I would say definitely think of your story and think of ways that it could be different. And you also have to show that you are willing to take on this process. People will, you know, say in the beginning, and this has happened, they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, I want to do this, and then we get to the third meeting and they drop out. You know, and it's understandable because it is fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of pulling actors together, trying to figure out schedules, trying to figure out locations, trying to get your call sheets together, trying to get your, you know, your release forms and table reads. It's a lot of work. But once you're done and you get to see it on that screen, it's amazing.
Tia, so can you give us like a testimonial on like the process for you? This is your first film project.
This is my
right?
first film project. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this.
Is it nerve-wracking or
I was so nervous. I mean, to the point where Shameka's laughing because I was really nervous. I mean,
what are you nervous about?
Because I feel like, you know, you can have a lot. It's different than radio. It's different than anything I've ever done before. And to actually have a true, like, I feel like this concept is most reflects who I am as a person so well that to put that out there, like, it was just a lot of doubt. Like, am I good enough to do this? Will I find the right actors to portray it? Because, you know, I already have it in my mind. Like, it's already been done in my mind, right? So will I find the right people? Luckily I did find the right people to portray my characters. Will I be good? Honestly, that's just what it is. To be completely transparent, that's exactly what it is. Because it's something that I've never done before. And then other people are depending on you to have a great finished product. You know, the people that invested so much of their time, the crew and the cast, the family members that show up and the friends that show up to support you. You want to make sure that you have something that's good.
What's the schedule like? Is it like weekends? Is it
honey, there is no schedule. It is whenever your cast can come together. Yes, because that's another thing, you know, like they're volunteering their time. So you want to be respectful of their time and you want to make sure it's not too late. I mean, early is good, but not too late because people have their own lives and careers and jobs. And luckily I had two really, really, really great musicians, and they're playing They're playing gigs all of the time. So it's kind of blending their schedules together, finding venues too. Another thing is finding venues to actually shoot and having them agree to say, okay, this date and time. Once you have the venue agree, you pray that your actors will be available too. I mean, you can only pray that they're available because if not, it's just like, oh, okay, I lost that venue. I have to find another one. And it gets crazy, but I mean, it's exciting. It's not, I was talking to my sister about this the other day. You know, like if you want to become something, like you're going to have some level of stress, right? So it is stressful at times, but it's worth it. You know, it's definitely worth it. So, I mean, I would do it again in a different form. I mean, I just think it's an awesome project what Shameka's doing because, you know, it would have been sitting there. It would have been in my mind and it would have stayed there. But now I actually get to see it and it's manifested and I'm excited.
So April 27th is
Yes.
some kind of a gala event.
Yes. So we have our red carpet premiere, April 27th. And this is the first time for this project that I'm actually doing a red carpet premiere. Normally, I hold the screenings here at Philly Cam, but last year I noticed that we started to outgrow the space. So I said, well, this year, do something bigger. Everyone else was doing red carpets anyway, so I felt like, all right, you know what? Let me step my game up. Let me step my little game up. And that's what I did. I was like, well, I think, after everyone's hard work, it's nothing like, celebrating, completing those films and seeing your work on that big screen. And it's also great for the actors and the crew that are involved as well, because they get the opportunity to sit in the theater and see themselves on screen. Yeah. That's another thing I didn't mention about Five Shorts. Many of the actors we use and the crew that we use are individuals who are based in Philadelphia. We don't require experience. So if you don't have any experience, but we see something in you, if a director says, hey, I think I like this person, you could be in one of these films. It's not like you have to have an extensive resume. And actually, this is a good project that helps build resumes. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's another aspect.
Are you accessible?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can reach out whenever.
So the 27th is, you're going to be showing your shorts as well. Well,
yes.
First of all, how long is a short?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
So shorts are normally under 50 minutes. Once you get to 50, 60 minutes, that's a feature length.
Okay.
Yeah. So shorts are anywhere between, 1 minute up until 45, 50 minutes. Yeah.